Hi, my name is Vikramm Mitra, and I am the founder and director of Delta Botanicals and Research Private Limited. The global trends of cannabis has shifted dramatically starting from the 1980s. All that started with America's war on drugs, with basically started with the murder of a DEA agent in Mexico and spiraled into a whole new clamping of the entire plant in every dimension as possible. Starting to that day, and America has been at the forefront of it. But at the same time, America has been the first country too to have been legalizing it and bringing cannabis again back to the forefront of healthcare, to automobiles, and to different other things. Uh, Cannabis was legalized for like more than 30 states have legalized cannabis for recreational use in the US currently. Its neighbor, Canada, has federally legalized cannabis for both recreational, industrial, and medicinal use. These countries were the first countries to object the use of cannabis because of its relevance and importance in different demographics where they had gone. But slowly, the entire tide of cannabis, being proactively speaking about cannabis, it is these countries that went afar. The other country which has been again at the medical forefront of cannabis is Israel. Now, Israel has been the first, in fact, we can say that, the Dr. Rafi Machulam and Dr. Didi Mary from Israel were the first people who actually found out about the endocannabinoid system and also about the uniqueness of each and every strain with respect to diseases. Now, that's something fantastic. No such country in the world has got such leaps of data and research when it comes to cannabis. India is a sleeping giant when it comes to the hemp industry. Our country has have had laws pertaining to cannabis since the 1980s, ever since the US government pressurized us into having clamping down on cannabis. We had a very good policy, in fact, and that policy is called the NDPS policy. In order to enforce the NDPS policy, we had the NDPS Acts and Rules of 1985, and our Indian government has been very supportive and clear on the laws pertaining to medical cannabis related drug development. There are many sections within the NDPS Act that allows for the medical and scientific use of cannabis, and at the same time, you see, our country in India is very much the same as in the US. Just like in the US, cannabis is federally is illegal, but states have been given the leeway. The same thing exists in India. Section 8, read with Section 10 of the NDPS Act allows the state government to formulate its own law related to cannabis cultivation, to warehousing, processing, and interstate export and import. At the same time, the central body, which is the Central Bureau of Narcotics, which is the central body that comes with the Department of Revenue and and has the responsibility of giving out licenses, also identifies medical hemp extract as a manufactured narcotic drug in the manufactured narcotic drug list, serial number 16. Although Section 8, read with Section 10 of the NDPS Act, allows the different state governments to formulate and regulate cannabis laws within their jurisdiction, only a handful of states in the country have gone ahead and done that. Uttarakhand, Uttar Pradesh, Madhya Pradesh, Jammu are only a handful of those states which are planning to have a cannabis cultivation license or have certain policies in place for the same. Coming to the case of Uttarakhand, Uttarakhand being the first state to legalize cannabis cultivation for industrial purposes, although has a license in place, but the 0.3% THC limit has become a bane of contention and has stymied the industry. India, being an equatorial climate, cannot support low THC cannabis cultivation because the presence of THC is due to due to high UV index and high humidity. Now, the laws that were made in Uttarakhand were basically taken from the US Farm Bill of 2015. Now, although the state of Uttarakhand proactively went ahead and did this, it forgot to follow the UNODC guidelines on cannabis analysis and differentiation. According to the UNODC guidelines, there is a procedure to differentiate in between drug type cannabis and fiber type cannabis, and it's clearly mentioned in page number 20 of the same manual. The way forward is to have is basically to bridge this gap of knowledge and also communication by having establishing a think tank with or an expert level committee with bureaucrats, lawmakers, and business holders, so that business holders can communicate their on ground realities and also communicate the issues on ground effectively, and at the same time it gives a podium for the lawmakers and bureaucrats to understand the situation on ground faced by the businesses and how to best help them and to create laws that can help in the advancement of the hemp industry. A think tank which is similar to that of Niti Aayog or one of those expert level think tanks that basically gives out suggestions which helps the country and the lawmakers and the businesses all together in establishing a proper industry of hemp in India. During my college days in Australia, I realized the various potential of cannabis at the Nimbin Mardi Gras. Here, I was told, and here I was exposed to the different uses of cannabis apart from its recreational use. Here, I saw that cannabis was not just medicine, but was used as food, fuel, and also as biocomposites. It was exciting. It excited me a lot. But at the same time, what didn't sit well with me was the fact that the place where I belong from, that is Odisha, has had a long history with cannabis culturally and historically. But at the same time, nothing was done back home to find out the potential of this plant and how cannabis could help in reviving the economy or be of any benefit to the state. Coming back to India, I was told that my aunt was suffering with glioblastoma multiforme, which is one of the most aggressive forms of brain tumor, and she had only a couple of days left. Knowing that this plant could help, I still was not able to talk about this. There was no way to open a communication with the family to even suggest that this plant might be of help. That was the last pushing point for me. That's it, when I decided to take it up on myself, that it's my responsibility, and I decided to be at the helm of things and form a company and work on it. That's how Delta Botanicals and Research was born. Delta has always identified the unique potential that India offers for cannabis-based phytopharmaceutical drug development. It also has the second largest, pain population of osteoarthritic knee pain in India. Delta understands the unique opportunity that India provides for cannabis-based drug development. India has the second largest pain population of osteoarthritic knee pain. And we at Delta have partnered up with the top research institutions in India under the Department of Biotechnology and are conducting R&D on cannabis-based drugs on osteoarthritic knee pain. At the same time, Delta has partnered up with research institutions under ICAR to map and to do an exercise of phenotyping the cannabis land races in the lower Shivalik regions of the Himalayas. Lastly, we also provide consultation and advisory services to new and upcoming startups, to established companies, and to Fortune 500 companies as international companies as well who are planning to enter the hemp industries. Our company provides a complete end-to-end solution with respect to cannabis, all the aspects of cannabis cultivation. We cover in depth all our services when it comes to GRC, to handholding services, licensing, and everything that is required to successfully launch, set up, and run your hemp business in India. Thank you.